Hey, what's up guys? It's Umair here. So in today's video, I'm gonna be teaching you guys a new topic, which is Java methods that we use in Java programming. Okay, so first of all, what is Java? What are Java user-defined methods? Java user-defined methods are small unit discrete of code, which allows you to break the code and make it easier to understand. To avoid any confusion, let's just dive into the program. First of all, we gotta create a new method. We all use public static void arguments to run like the program, like every code we use it, like for example system.out.println, for example system.out.println, and then we're just gonna be writing a, and then semicolon, and then boom. When we run the code, it's gonna give us the result a. So we always use public static void main string arguments. Using user-defined method, it's a little bit different. So first of all, we're just basically gonna copy like public static, the first three letters of public static void main string arguments. So public static void. Now, just like a variable, you can give a method any name. So for example, you can give it cat, public static void num, and then we're just gonna be putting the curly braces. Once we're done doing that, we're basically just gonna make a code inside of it. We're just gonna be writing system.out.println and then 12. So let's just print 12 here. When you're gonna run the code, like for example int x is equals to 15, you write 15, and then here you write system.out.println, and then you write x. What is the output gonna give us? Is it gonna give us 12, or is it gonna give us like 12 and then after 15? If you guess that it's gonna run 15, then you're wrong. And if you guess that it's gonna run 12 and 15, you're also wrong. But if you guess that it's only gonna print 12, well, you're correct. It's only gonna run 12. Why? Because it always runs like in the public static void. Like you gotta cool it or invoke it. So to cool it or invoke it, you just basically gotta call the name of it. So for example, you write num and then semicolon num. What is the result gonna give us? So when you run the code, it's gonna give us 12 and 15, because here you just invoked it. You just called like num. So it always runs the code inside the public static void. So that's why you just called num, and then it went to the public static void num, and then it read int x is equals to 15, and then it simply printed out system.out.println x. Voila! It was that simple, wasn't it? Okay, now we're done doing that. We can create more methods. We always gotta create a new method outside of the curly braces of the first method. So we're basically just gonna create another one, public static void num2, and then parentheses, it requires a curly braces. Just like if statements or for loop, you just always gotta put the curly braces inside, because like you're using a method. Public static void num2. So we just created a new method. Now we're basically just gonna write another one. For example, int y is equals to 6, and then you write system.out.println, and then you just put the parentheses inside and then write semicolon. Now what do you think it's gonna run? Oh, so you put the y variable inside. Now what do you think it's gonna run? Is it gonna result 12 and then 15 and then it's gonna print 6, or is it only gonna print 12 and 15? Let's run the code and find out. Now once we run the code, it only printed 12 and 15. Why? Because we forgot to invoke it. So you can just like invoke it or cool it by just calling like the num2, just like we did as with num. And we also should do num2 parentheses semicolon, so that we can let Java know that we are like cooling it or invoking it. So it's gonna proceed to the num2 method, read int y is equals to 6, and then print. Let's make it a little bit tricky. system out print ln parentheses and then semicolon. We're basically just gonna write like 16, you know, system dot print ln 16 int y is equals to 6 system dot print ln y. We're basically just gonna write num. You can call another method inside like the current method, like num. What do you think it's gonna run? Well, before running the program, we gotta understand it. First of all, it's gonna print 12, and then it's gonna print num. Num, it's gonna proceed to the num. It's gonna print 15, and then proceed to the num2. It's gonna proceed to 16, because in Java it always runs code line by line. So 12, 15, and then it finished 16, and then it's gonna print num, which is 15, and then it's gonna print 6. Now, if you don't believe me, check this out. 12, and then it printed 15. It printed 15 out, and then it printed 16. It printed 15 because we're calling it num, so it went back. It printed 15. It's also gonna print 16 because in Java the codes always run line by line, and then it's basically gonna proceed back to num2, and then it's gonna proceed int y is equals to 6. It's gonna read it, and then it's simply just gonna print y. So it always gives us the result 12, 15, 16, 15, 16, 6. Isn't that cool? That was it for today's video. So I hope you like this learning Java methods that was it for today's video. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell too, so that you won't miss any of my videos. Have a nice day. Bye.